Welcome back to the catch-up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. She is Cris Cyborg. Cris, how are you this afternoon with that awesome LA Lakers shirt? I was giving you props for that right off the top.
Thank you. I'm great. I'm very happy. And just coming back from Bellator. We went to their Connecticut, and they did nice things and nice news. And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, how was the flight back? Because I know you were telling me you were trying to get your sleep schedule all figured out because of the time change, right?
Yeah, I was there, but I live in the California time, and then I don't have trouble when I come back.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's smart. I think if you have a short trip like that, stay in the time zone you live in, and then you'll be fine.
Yes.
So you got it all figured out. Before we get into everything today, as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Your support means a ton to us. We really appreciate it. We love doing this show every Tuesday. Before we talk about UFC 258, which is the talk of the town this weekend, how about Valentine's Day? What did you get up to for the special day?
Now, I went to church, and of course, I have a lunch and Thai food. Me and my fiancé, we met each other in Thailand, and it always is special when you do Thai food. And I got my Jordan, fourth Jordan, and I'm very, very happy.
Good. That's awesome. My wife and I went out for dinner. We went to like this Greek restaurant in town. So we did a little bit of a Valentine's Day thing. Nothing too crazy, but that's good. We both got some good food this weekend. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
But let's talk about UFC 258. Pretty good pay-per-view. You know, it wasn't getting a lot of love going in. Not a huge card in terms of the name value, but I love that main event. Kamaru Usman getting a third-round finish over Gilbert Burns. I know you'd pick Burns. I saw your picks this weekend, but it was a good fight. What did you think of Kamaru's performance?
Did an amazing fight. Usman showed a lot of heart. If you see the fight at the beginning of the first round, Burns is doing well. He's catch him, is going to finish the fight. But it's Usman continue work hard, continue poker face, and he find the opportunity. And second round, he's coming back different. And he's got the victory. Congratulations, Usman. And Burns just continue working hard, and the opportunity coming back again for sure.
And I didn't realize this either, that if Burns had won, he would have been the first Brazilian welterweight champion, which would have been kind of cool. But you know what? I think there's plenty of fight left in Gilbert Burns. It was a good performance. Fighting a teammate, I mean, that's got to be tough, right? So.
For sure, you have to think like this. We don't lose. We learn something.
Exactly.
And for sure, we learned something that night. And for sure, next time is going to be prepared and get it wet and get the victory. And don't forget, Usman went to Colombia to do stem cells with Bill Seller too. I was forgetting to talk about.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, so it just goes to show that stuff helps, right? So that's really good. Speaking of learning, Kelvin Gastelum, we talked about him heading into the fight. 3 straight losses. He comes out on top, gets that big win. What did you think of Kelvin's performance? I know you've worked with him. Really cool to see him get back in the win column.
At the training yesterday in Kings MMA, he showed up over there, nothing his face, it look like his fight. That night, anyone his fight that night, he's going to win. He's focused and he's working really hard. He's really prepared mentally and they prepare physical and they be ready for getting the victory. I know it's hard when you come from lost and you have that pressure back, you have to get the victory. But you see he's really prepared, 100% there and he got the victory, and congratulations, Gastelum and everyone from Kings MMA.
Yeah, I was really, they've been on a roll, right? We talked about, Beneil Dariush and Marquez getting those wins. So it's been cool to see them continue that run. Kings MMA, one of the best gyms in the world. Love seeing that. Speaking of training partners, Don Madge, I was so happy to see him back in action. He's been out since, I think, 2019. I know you got to spend some time with him down in South Africa. How was it getting to see the news that he's fighting Nasrat Haqparast? A really awesome matchup.
I brought him a couple of times for do some camps with me, and we train together, work together, and the kid is complete. He's have strike good, wrestling, BJJ. He's amazing partner training, and I introduced him to UFC. And after he introduced me to Richie Quan, it's an amazing team having South Africa. I have the opportunity to do UFC 240, train over there in my camp. Before I fight Gilbert, I went over there too. Richie Quan, a lot of people don't know he yet, but have a lot of athletes complete. If you know JP, I think JP just signed with UFC.
Yeah, UFC trains at Fortis. Yeah, I know him. Him and his wife are in the UFC, which is interesting.
Yes, and both, she's trained there a little bit, but I know JP, he's growing, training with Richie Quan. He's from there, and his new generation, he's going to do amazing. And, Richie Quan, I want to say hi for everyone there in South Africa. I miss you guys. I learned a lot over there, and I hope back soon over there. And, yes, I'm very excited for Don fight. He's going to do great this next fight for him. And I know it's a little while he's get out from the no fighting, but he's training really hard and I know he's going to be impressed a lot of people that night.
Yeah, before we hopped on here, I actually checked to see why he hasn't fought in so long, and I looked. It's actually his opponents who have pulled out. I think the last 2 fights he had scheduled, his opponents had to withdraw, so just some bad luck there, but really love this fight. Nasrat is definitely a gamer, so excited for that fight. That's going to be taking place on March 13th.
This fight, his real opponents get, I don't know, injury, he pull out the fight, and he was there, we talk about him, and it's upset when you train really hard and this has happened. But I'm glad to get another person for him fight, and yeah, it's nice. We're going to have the fight.
Yeah, really looking forward to that fight. Speaking of fights coming up here, we got to do some early predictions here. We got that April 2nd fight coming up with the double champ, Patricio Pitbull, rematching Emmanuel Sanchez. I love this fight. I got to say something, Chris. You know, a lot of people are wanting to see Pitbull and AJ McKee. I agree. I want to see it, but don't count on Emmanuel Sanchez. I think that's a really interesting rematch. Their first fight was close, but I got to get your early pick. Are you going with the champ, or do you think we'll see an upset here with Sanchez?
You know, I'm going with the champion. You know, Brazilians are always together. And I know Pitbull already beat Sanchez before, you know, but I know it's a war. It's the fight between them is a war, and I don't think the next one is going to be different. I think Sanchez is going to be ready too, and he's going to be excited fight, but Sanchez danger too. But you know, Pitbull is Pitbull, and he's he's a
double champ, yeah, in the promotion, yeah.
Visions, and for sure he's going to be ready to stand the last time.
So we had Pitbull's brother co-host the show one time. We've had Emmanuel Sanchez on the show as well. So no bias here with my pick, but I'm also going to take Pitbull in this fight. I still think it's going to be close like the last one. Like I think it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be, you know, who can dig deep in those later rounds. But I love that fight. Great matchmaking there by Bellator in April. Really looking forward to the Showtime era for Bellator. Really excited. And speaking of which, you know, immediately when I thought about, you know, the Showtime, you know, deal with Bellator, which again, full circle back when you fought in Strikeforce, Showtime Boxing. Is there a possibility we could see you in the boxing ring this year with Showtime? Because we know that there's that connection.
You know, I'm loving being fighting Showtime again. You know, I'm happy with Bellator. And if we do one show together, boxing and MMA, I would like to do one boxing fight. Everybody knows how excited I am for this. And yes, I'm open for anything, you know, Scott would like to do with me.
Yeah, it seems like he's very receptive, though. That's one of the things you and I have talked about on here, as opposed to your last promoter. It seems like Scott's very much open to other opportunities, whether it is boxing or just having you, you know, come out, like you said, for the presser, to come fly out just for a couple days, just to have you there. It must be kind of nice to have a promoter that's working with you like that.
Yes, you know, with me, with Scott, I think it's not just about the boss, and then we work together. We're growing together. You know, I respect his opinion. We work together. I think both the semi-property growing together. I think we work well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Some stuff going on, as we always do, talking about your website, CrisCyborg.com. I see you got fanny packs on there now. What other merchandise do you have? Because I know a lot of people out there want to, you know, rep the Cris Cyborg brand. What are some of the things that you offer on the website?
You know, I have a lot of shirts. I have hoodies. And if you want to sign up to fans membership, you know, in a little group together, you have this too, and the techniques. You know, we try to put a lot of things for all the fans for know everything more about Cris Cyborg and about, you know, everything. And you can buy with Bitcoin too. We put it there for people who use Bitcoin. You can buy merchandise with Bitcoin.
And by the way, if you've been keeping an eye on Bitcoin, it's doing quite well right now. Every day I check to see how mine's going up a little bit, and it's been cool to see that grow a lot. How did the Q&A go last week, by the way? Speaking of your premium service, I saw you had the screenshot of you talking to all your fans. How did that all go last week?
It's very nice, you know, very nice. Every time we meet to chat, meet everybody together in a small group. Sometimes have some people new, but it's very nice to share the environment and the talk. And I share a couple things with them. I share a couple things people don't know outside, and just then we keep a secret. You know, I'm really happy to be with them. And if you guys would like to sign up, be a part of our group, you know, it's a family group.
Yes, and like we mentioned there, it's very easy to sign up for the premium service. Less than a cup of coffee. You get in there, you get the Q&As, you get all this other behind-the-scenes stuff, which is really cool. And I wanted to ask you, too, you know, with the Q&As, do you find that for you, is it more rewarding doing these in some degree? Because we're in a pandemic right now. A lot of people, they can't go and see you physically, right? Because I know you're used to doing the signings and all that. So do you find that there's, you know, it's kind of comforting to be able to still talk to your fans without having to worry about, you know, wearing a mask or anything, right?
No, this is nice because then they can know a little bit more about me, just not doing inside the octagon and I'm fighting. But we give a little support for the fans. I know it's very hard to do the appearance and do a lot of things like this, and I think the small group doing it online, I think is very nice to help each other. And yeah, pass it through everything. And soon I'm gonna know the new when camp is gonna start.
Ooh.
And for sure, I just say it's gonna be one time monthly. We're gonna do the live together, but we're gonna have new ideas. Maybe guys, you can check out some training with me. And yes.
There we go, CrisCyborg.com. Got to check it out. We'll plug that at the end for sure. As we do every single week, I got to do my Portuguese saying of the week. This week, I'm going to say, what is for breakfast? You know, I'm going to be hungry when I'm there if I go to Brazil or anywhere where they speak Portuguese. How do I say, what is for breakfast?
Okay, you're going to say, o que tem para o café da manhã.
Okay, so I'm going to have to get you to say that again. O que tem para
o café da manhã? O que tem para o café da manhã?
O café
da manhã.
Da manhã. Okay. This is one of those ones that happens every once in a while. I got to go back and watch it because then I'll try and say it together. But thank you. You're a great teacher when it comes to this stuff. I'm learning bit by bit. So there we go.
Yeah, it's that stuff. It's a lot of things. The same thing. And it's nice, but you're doing good.
Yes, no, I appreciate it. One thing we didn't have in our notes, but I did want to ask you just because I thought of it. We've got the UFC card this weekend. Your former opponent, Yana Kunitskaya, is actually fighting in the co-main event against Ketlen Vieira. What's it been like seeing Yana, go from fighting you to having, she's kind of turned things around in her career. She's in this co-main event slot. She's fighting Ketlen Vieira. I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on her, but she's at American Top Team right now. Did you see that?
Yes, Ketlen Vieira is a Brazilian. She's training for
Nova União. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Nova União. I think it's going to be a great fight. And, I wish the best, all the girls I fight before. And it's nice to see girls, we fight and they continue fighting and they follow your goals. And, yeah, I'm excited for the fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect there as well, too. And I think the implications are big. If Ketlen wins, I think you might see her get that title shot, but we'll see.
She deserves.
100%. Good record. I think she's 11-1 overall. Ketlen's done quite well. Just the one lost to Irene Aldana, so we'll be keeping tabs on that. Chris, always appreciate you doing this. We mentioned the premium service, CrisCyborg.com. Anything else you got coming up this week or anything you want to plug? I'll give you the floor here.
I want to say thank you for our fans. Make sure, don't forget to leave some message for us. First, see what you guys want to see next. If you like our podcast, and you're always here for improving, getting better. And thank you for being with us. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And quickly got to mention, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Lynch on Sports. If you guys have any topics you want us to cover each week, we don't just cover MMA stuff. We talk about Chris's animals. We talk about a lot of different stuff on here. So if you guys have any feedback, drop us a like, drop us a comment. We'll definitely take that into consideration for the next show, which will be a week today. I'm James Lynch. She's Cris Cyborg. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.